If I was writing a screenplay about stoners, I would probably use this song.
All right, my friend. So you describe yourself as a Swiftie. I would perhaps describe myself as a Slickie.
Huh?
Although I'm starting to reconsider that after I actually say it out loud. But you're about to listen to Grace Slick. Grace Slick is a very powerful singer with a very unique band. She was massive in the 60s and going into the 70s. What you're about to see is their Jefferson Airplane era. They changed their name at one point to Jefferson Starship in the 70s. So they did kind of a rebrand, and actually later, for legal reasons, had to change their name to just Starship. The song we're listening to is White Rabbit. I won't be surprised if you feel like you kind of recognize it from a movie or something like that. Right now they're on the Smothers Brothers, which was a big sort of late night show at the time, where they were, from my understanding, a little bit more open to interesting acts. So, what are you expecting?
I don't know. Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit. It all sounds kind of cloudy, hippie-ish, kind of.
The combination of psychedelic sound and color, and well, if you want to experience it to the fullest, we suggest that you, I don't want to offend any of you, but we suggest that you eat a banana while you're watching it.
I don't know what that means.
Or smoke a banana, as my brother said, but actually he's pretty far out, even for me. Now here they are, Jefferson Airplane and their latest hit, White Rabbit.
So first thing I noticed right away, it appears to be a song that is going to be bass heavy, very slow, very mellow, has the hippie vibes. Okay.
Let's see which part of those is wrong.
Got the hippie look too.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small.
This line is used in a punk song, so they probably stole it from this.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure they were doing an homage, but yeah.
And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell 'em a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you a call. Call Alice when she was just small. When the men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go.
So yeah, I mean, so far, it sounds exactly what I thought it was going to sound like. I said Beatles.
It's like Beatles!
I don't think it's really that far from Beatles. Like, if I wanted to make a 60s song, I would use this as a template.
Yes, because they were one of the big templates, and in fact, this song gets played all the time in movies and shows when they're depicting a character getting very high.
That makes sense.
So you probably heard that before.
I probably have.
And it is the signature song to describe somebody getting high. I mean, yeah, there's a couple more, but like this is the one. And musically, she does some really interesting things with her voice. You know, she's doing the I find it really interesting that they've got this very sort of military drumming, boo, boo, brr, boo, mixed in with very sort of Middle Eastern guitar. This is a perfect example of 60s psychedelic music where you've got all these genres mixed in. What she's singing about is kind of a spin on the Alice in Wonderland story.
When she was just small. When the men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you just had some
was interesting because her vocal note didn't change, and I was expecting it to. It just stayed on the same note. So it actually kind of felt like uncomfortable, like it was the wrong note. But I appreciate that because I like when artists do what they're not supposed to do. Like that has a punk aesthetic to me.
You know how you were saying at the beginning you thought expected it to be fairly calm, and you see that her voice is getting a lot of intensity now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I think you'll know logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is walking backwards, and the red queen's off with her head. Remember what the dog said.
So I really like what she did there. I was talking about like the monotony of the one note and how she just kept singing that one note over and over again. But it worked because when you finally get out of that note, she put a lot of power into it, and you see the instrumentation pick up as well. It feels like you're leaving that monotony, or it makes the rest of it stand out even more than it would have stood out if that single note hadn't preceded it.
How would you rate this?
It didn't get repetitive, and I felt like it built up to the end. I was expecting it to go back down, which would have been fine, but it didn't go back down. It just builds up all the way. If I was writing a screenplay about stoners, I would probably use this song. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 ham stars.
For me, I'm just so impressed by her vocals.
What do you rate this?
5 out of 5.
Wow.
Any day, anytime. I think Grace Slick is incredible. I love her singing. I love her sullen attitude when she's in front of the camera. I love the uniqueness and creativity in the music. This is really a piece of history, right? This is the Summer of Love bands. They performed at Woodstock, and rightly so, because they were so unique and they were part of that 60s musical movement that changed everything and led us to where modern music is today.
Everything that we like now has probably taken bits and pieces from the music that came out around this time. Though, the music that came out around this time also took bits and pieces from the music before it. So we all just continue adding to the pile. Well, that's it for us, ham stars. Spin your wheel down to that subscribe button.
And give us a dastardly thumbs up.